What's up, everybody? Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I just want to talk about this dolly that I actually picked up on Black Friday. This is actually the Pro Aim Polaris model. So with that being said, a dolly is something that I definitely recommend for pretty much anybody doing any sort of videography. It's definitely one of those things that I slept on for a long time. Immediately, I do want to point out that to operate this dolly, much like you would do a Dana dolly or any other dolly, right? You're going to need some sort of tripod head. So for me, I'm actually using the one from Sirui, and I will do a video about that more in depth in the future. With that being said, this dolly essentially allows you to get smooth shots. Now, I did decide to put 5-foot rails on here. Now, this was a little bit confusing for anyone looking to get a dolly who's looking to get the rails cheaper. Essentially, what I did was go to my local hardware store and I got two 1.5-inch 5 feet rails. This particular dolly can actually work with some that are a little bit smaller, but when I was looking at the capacity and different things like that, the 1.5-inch seemed to be the perfect one, so that's why I chose to get this one. Aside from that, this is basically something you would use to get smooth shots. Generally going, left to right or front to back. You can pretty much do it however you want to. With that being said, as you can see, I do have the Blackmagic kind of rigged on here now, so I will post a few sample shots just to kind of give you an idea, but this would definitely be something that's great for pretty much any sort of shoot. That's what this will be ideal for. Keep in mind that the kits you get, you do got two options, right? So you can get a hard flight case or get the soft case. Both of them are going to be heavy, but if you prefer to have the hard case, that is an option. I want to say it's maybe $100 to $200 more. So I chose to go ahead and get the cheaper option since I don't plan on traveling with this thing, other than locally. With that being said, it's a pretty interesting device. So now let me just show you a couple more detailed shots of the whole setup. So one of the things I forgot to point out was the fact that I'm actually using two C stands to hold this up. Now these two C stands, they're working pretty well. You do want to get something that has a little bit of weight to it just in order to avoid any sort of issues. With that being said, you can definitely get some stands that are made specifically for this, but I decided to use two C stands. The kit itself actually does come with 4 little pegs, which essentially allow you to set it up on the ground. So if you just wanted to get some shots that are super low, it comes with that out of the box. Um, with a dolly, you do have to get the pose yourself. Now, I went ahead and got these steel pipes right here. Like I said, they're both 1.5. The diameter is 1.5 for both of these. I paid about $50 per pipe. If you get them from the Polaris website, you can actually pre-order some. The problem with that is you will end up paying more, but they are a little bit more convenient to travel with. They basically unscrew and you screw them together. So if you're worried about convenience and portability, that's something you definitely want to look at. Aside from that, your tripod head pretty much works like normal as you would put it on this. Like I say, I'm using the Sirui tripod head. So let me loosen it up. So as you can see, I have it right here. And pretty much the way I've been doing it is pretty much locking the tripod. So you lock it so that you don't have to worry about it moving. And then boom, you just pretty much go just like that. It's pretty straightforward. Now, one of the first questions you may have is, can you use this with longer tracks? Technically you can, but if you do use it with longer tracks, you do want to keep in mind that you're going to want to use the support beam. So it'll be basically like adding another C-stand right here. Now it does come with an attachment to basically support it up. I'm sure if you wanted to use it on a longer track, as long as you have the supports, you can probably get away with it. But what's recommended is anywhere from like 4 to 6 feet, so you can just use both of these. That works pretty fine. Aside from that, it's pretty straightforward. It is pretty hefty. So with that being said, something like this can support up to around, I want to say like 400 pounds. So you're pretty much going to get smooth shots no matter what you're putting on this thing, whether it's a big camera or a smaller camera, which is a good thing. Aside from that, like I said, it's pretty straightforward. This is the Pro Aim Polaris. Another popular one is the Dana dolly. You can use that one, or you can use something like this, or you can actually make your own. There are a lot of people that actually make their own, but I didn't want to do that, so I just got this one. With that being said, like I said, this video is going to be short, sweet, and to the point. I'm going to put some sample footage at the end of the video. If you have any questions, just feel free to let me know. And yeah, we should be good to go. So I'm going to get these sample shots, and then I'm going to put a couple more shots. Yeah, so enjoy the sample shots. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Like I said, I'm just going to get a couple of sample shots. And I'll sync this up in post. Again, I'm using the Ursa Cine 12K. Just as an example, as you can see. Let's see. Now keep in mind, you would normally have like a focus puller with something like this, just so you can get it exactly how it needs to go. All right, I'm gonna get a couple more sample shots. All right, I'm just gonna get a couple more. 2. Yeah, but essentially it allows you to get smooth shots. Yeah, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward.